What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Seeking Sister Wife, Season 4, Episode 11. So it's the morning after the Merryfields have arrived in Brazil. And Garrick and Roberta are waking up together, and of course, we have to hear about what happened the night before. So, Roberta tells us that it was a very special night. They shared a very special moment. She said that it was very beautiful. It was very romantic. She said that there were glances and there were touches, and it was just all so special. And she made it sound, extremely romantic. And she made it sound, like they really enjoyed each other, that they really shared like a very special moment with one another. The way she described it, it was like, what romance books are made out of. And then on the other side of that, we see Danielle waking up alone, and she says that she felt very lonely, and she says that she has a very uneasy feeling, but it's not about any type of jealousy or any type of envy with Roberta and Garrick. Her uneasiness stems from the uncertainty of whether or not Roberta will actually return to the United States with them. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so you really want her to come to the United States with you so that you can feel more lonely. This was just one night in Brazil that that you were without your husband, and you wake up feeling lonely and alone. And so, how do you think it's going to be when she's in Colorado with y'all? You're going to have several nights of loneliness. Every time that Danielle talks about, whenever Danielle is in pain, whenever Danielle gets emotional, whenever Danielle is in angst, it's not because she wants us to believe that it's got nothing to do with jealousy. It's got nothing to do with watching her husband fall in love with another woman. It's got nothing to do with, this woman possibly, meaning more to him than you do to him. It's got nothing to do with that. It always has something to do with, is Roberta really committed to us? Is Roberta really going to do this with us? That's what she wants us to believe is causing all of her emotional distress, is the fact that she's worried about whether or not Roberta will actually join their family. And I'm just so confused about all of this because I feel like she's never expressed any concerns with losing Garrick or any concerns other than, when she thought that he was going to impregnate Roberta in Brazil, and Brazil would not, and Roberta would not come to the United States. That's the only time that she kind of felt worried about possibly losing Garrick. But at least if Roberta didn't come to at least if Roberta didn't come to the United States and stayed in Brazil, and let's say her and Garrick had a baby or had a family, and Garrick would have to travel back and forth, at least it wouldn't be all up in Danielle's face, their blossoming relationship, them falling in love with one another. But now y'all are all going to be together in the United States, in one home under one roof, and it's going to be all up in your face, this relationship that they are nurturing. But anyways, Danielle, what can we say? If you like it, we have to love it. So Roberta comes into Danielle's bedroom to check on her, and I was thinking to myself, why is it Roberta that's going in to check on Danielle? Why is Roberta more worried about Danielle than Garrick? Because I would have thought that it would have been Garrick who would have gone into the room to check on his wife, the mother of his children, the woman that he has spent who knows how many years with. But instead, it's Roberta who was concerned about Danielle's feelings and how Danielle spent her night alone, etc. So she starts crying. Okay, she starts crying while she's there with Roberta. And in her confessional, she says that she wonders if Roberta will actually come to Colorado with them. So we see her crying. And once again, it makes me think that, she's feeling some kind of way about Garrick and Roberta's relationship. But no, she tells us that she's actually worried about Roberta joining their family, whether or not she's actually going to take that step to join their family. Moving on. So then they take a tour of Rio de Janeiro. and they go through the neighborhood where Roberta grew up. They go see the hospital where she was born. They drive past the restaurant where she used to spend time with her father, and she got extremely emotional over that because I think her father has passed away. So driving by that restaurant really brought back memories of her dad. They go past her school, and they talk about the slums of Rio, the poverty of Rio, and it was like a culture shock for the Merryfields. Then later on, they're back at their Airbnb, and Roberta's mom comes over. So this is a very difficult time, obviously, for Roberta and her mother, because once she does get to the United States, her and Garrick have 90 days to get married. And then after that, the attorney has to file an adjustment for her visa or something like that. And that can take up to 6 months. So it's going to be, at least 6 months before Roberta is able to travel back to Brazil to visit her mother. So the mother is very emotional about losing her daughter, or, her daughter leaving. And she tells us that no matter how difficult it is for her, her main concern is Roberta's happiness. And if this is what makes Roberta happy, she's in full support of it. The mother says that this whole polygamy lifestyle, she doesn't agree with it necessarily. It's not her cup of tea. But if this is what her daughter wants to do, and this is what her daughter, if this is what makes her daughter happy, then, she's going to go along with it and support Roberta. So the whole entire time that they're talking with the mother, I definitely see why Roberta's crying, because she's going to be, moving away from her mom, and she's very worried about her mom, and she loves her mom. So I understand why she's crying. And then Garrick is just like a leaking faucet. He cannot stop crying. And I get the fact that you can be very empathetic to what Roberta and her mom are going through and what they're feeling. But just to be that emotional wreck, like he has like this really deep connection with Roberta. That's how I see it. Like he's always crying over Roberta, because I feel like, he's got this very deep, intense connection with her. He has this intense love for her. So anytime that she's in distress, or anytime that she's emotional, he automatically feels it, and he becomes very emotional. Because I haven't seen, and there hasn't been any reason to, but I haven't seen him cry over Danielle. I've seen Danielle cry. I've seen her cry several times, but I've never seen Garrett cry over Danielle. Like at least cry about, acknowledging what Danielle must be going through, because I feel like Danielle's feelings are just not talked about, not acknowledged. No one cares, about how she's feeling, how she's taking this. And anytime that she feels emotion, she just puts it under this reason of, oh, I'm just so happy for them. Or I really want Roberta to come with us. And, oh, Roberta needs to really get on that plane and join us in Colorado. And it's like, girl, do you not feel anything? And I know you are, but why can't you talk about how you're feeling about Garrick and Roberta and their relationship? Why don't you tell us how that is making you feel? Because Garrick has no problem talking about how Roberta makes him feel and his love for Roberta. But I know, Danielle, you've got to be going through something. It is something that you're going to get over. You're going to get over it eventually. You're going to accept it 100% eventually. But for right now, in the early stages of their marriage and their relationship, how do you really feel about this? But anyways, she says that, her only concern is whether or not Roberta is going to be joining them in the United States. So the mother says that she is fully aware and she is understanding of the sacrifice that Garrick and Dannielle have made for Roberta. For example, them getting a divorce to allow Garrick to marry Roberta on a spousal visa. And also, I was wondering, are they financially supporting Roberta and her mom in Brazil? Because they had said something about when they were taking the tour of Rio, they had said something about, now we understand why Roberta has a hard time finding a job. So I'm wondering if they're also financially supporting them. And I'm wondering if that has anything to do with Roberta coming to the United States, as far as like, what, I'll come with y'all, but I need to make sure that my mom is good. So what's up with that? That's what I'm really wondering. And maybe that's the reason why she was dragging her feet about coming to America, because she was able to stay with her mother. She was able to stay in her home country, and they were, funneling money to her. So she didn't even have to worry about finances. So why would she be in a rush to come to the United States in this weird situation? So, yeah, my only issue is, Danielle, how are you really doing? Can you really tell us, how you're really feeling? I mean, it's okay. This is a safe space. It's a safe space here. You can talk about it with us. Moving on from them, now we're going to talk about the Jones family, Sidian and Tasha. So this is Sidian's last day in the Philippines, or last time in the Philippines. And he's going to make it count for something because he plans on proposing to Ariel. There's no need to drag this out. He ends up proposing to her. Of course, Tasha had to be there every step of the way. She wasn't there for the proposal, but he called her before he proposed. He called her right after he proposed. So he does propose to Ariel. He got down on one knee. Ariel accepted. She acted completely surprised. I don't understand why, because I mean, that's what they talked about. It's like, okay, for this to work, we have to get married. So I'm like, okay, don't you know this is going to be. Anyways, so she accepts the proposal. She said yes. And so now they're going to start the process, I guess, of her immigration status and getting her to the United States. Tasha is acting extremely happy for them. But Tasha came into polygamy. When she met Sidian, he was already with his first wife. So this is something that I'm pretty sure Tasha has been preparing for a very long time, because she entered into this relationship with Sidian, in a polygamous fashion. Moving on to the Epps family, Marcus, India, and Taryn. So Marcus cannot let Janae go. He wants him some Janae. Marcus wants to know how the meeting was between Janae, Taryn, and India. So Janae said that nothing was really said to convince her that this is the lifestyle for her, but she did appreciate that she was able to see the positive side of polygamy when they were talking about helping each other out with the children. And during the C-19 and the quarantine, people were stepping up, making sure that the kids were good. And so the fact that there were so many people available, not so many, but the fact that there was, three of them available, it was easy to always be there for the children. So something like that was like, a positive aspect to this plural lifestyle. So Janae says in her confessional that, India was the one that was really selling Marcus hard, which is really strange to me, because India is the most jealous of the two. Between her and Taryn, India is the one that has the most jealousy about who's around her man. So the fact that she was the one selling Marcus the hardest, I was just like, I didn't understand that at all. Like, why would she be so why would she go so hard into convincing Janae what a great guy Marcus is if she wants Marcus all to herself? Janae says that her biggest fear is losing Marcus if she does not accept polygamy and does not join this family. So she's got some strong feelings for that little man if her biggest fear is that she's going to lose him. So that's really interesting. I can see, okay, once again, I need to ask the question, what is it about Marcus that has these women doing things that they normally would not do? He has convinced three women to live a polygamy. Well, he hasn't really convinced Janae, but Janae is still sniffing around. She's still sniffing around this whole issue of polygamy. I don't understand why she hasn't gone home yet. If this is not for you, girl, and you don't want to do this, and you don't want to share your man, and you're just not interested, and no one has convinced you otherwise, why are you still here? So anyways, he's convinced two women, possibly three, maybe four, because Bina is still floating out there in the atmosphere. What is it about Marcus? I need to know. And I know that it's not all about looks, not to say that he's unattractive. I'm not saying that Marcus is unattractive, but he's not the best looking guy. So, like, you have a woman like Janae who would never, ever, ever, ever consider polygamy. She's happy with her regular schmegular, pseudo-monogamous relationships. But you have a woman like her who would never consider polygamy. Now she's lingering around. She's meeting up with the sister wives. She's talking about how she sees the positive side of polygamy. What is it? Is it because is his confidence and his persistence is what's so attractive to these women. The fact that he makes you feel so wanted, because he's like, I don't want to let you go, and I want to be with you, and this isn't over, and I need you to think outside the box, and I want you to give this a chance, because he's very direct about his intentions. Like, he lets them know that he wants them. He wants to be with them. He does not beat around the bush about that. And so I wonder if that's what it is. They feel special. They feel like, oh my God, this guy really, really wants me, and he'll go to any lengths to have me. I wonder if that's what it is. Because when he was talking to Janae on the couch, he was like, so, you're still here. I haven't heard you say no unless I missed it. And, he lets her know that I want you. I want to be with you. And this is how I live. And I want you to be a part of how I live. And I want you so bad that I want you just to throw away your core beliefs out the window, and be down with this whole plural lifestyle. Be down with the cause. I'm just like amazed. I don't know. He's a politician, right? Okay, that makes sense. He's a politician. I was like, he's either a politician or he's in sales. So he's a politician, so that makes sense. He's like, he knows how to convince people. Janae says in her confessional that she feels like she needs to be around this family more to see how they function, how everything flows. What is it like, the everyday life of a polygamous family? So she really wants to see the inner workings of polygamy. And I'm just like, Janae, girl, I mean, you're getting sucked into the Marcus vortex, like for real. He is sucking you in. And I don't even know if you know it. You think that, oh, I'm just here because I'm doing my little research to see if this is what I want to do. But girl, you're getting sucked in. You're being brainwashed. He is twisting your mind into thinking that this could possibly be something that you're interested in. I'm just like, damn. I'm moving on. I'm just shocked. I'm absolutely like shocked. Unless this is all fun and games and something that the producers have scripted or whatever you want to call it. I'm truly amazed at Marcus's powers. He's got some superhero powers. He's got some mind-bending powers. Moving on to the Davis family. Nick, Jennifer, and April. So they're looking for a bigger home. And they found a home. And the home I thought was very beautiful. Their realtor looked like Bernie Mac Jr. So they tell the realtor, like, we need a bigger home because, we're polygamist, and it's going to be a big family, so we need a whole bunch of space. So as soon as they walk in, they are in love with the house because the house is very spacious. But they go up to the master bedroom, and April, she's like, I don't know if this is going to work because this is a very small master bedroom, because they need to fit a 12-foot bed, a 12-foot custom-made bed into a bed. There's not a lot of houses. I mean, unless you're getting something that's like borderline a mansion, there's not a lot of regular homes where you're going to be able to fit a 12-foot bed in a master bedroom, I don't think. Unless you buy an extremely large house where you have like a master bedroom that's like an entire suite. So at this point, I'm like, okay, maybe y'all need to just build a home, to accommodate y'all's lifestyle, because this is what I understand. This is what I understand as a polygamous home, because y'all all want to sleep in one huge bed. There's going to be more wives added on, and yeah, y'all might need to just get on your own bed. Or what is the problem with the women sleeping in their own rooms? Because it seems like Nick, he needs to have his fun every single night because he's insatiable, right? He needs to have his fun every single night. And they have a rule, like if someone is getting down with Nick, the other wives are going to be in their own rooms. So why would you even need a big bed like that? Because Nick is going to be getting down every single night. And so all of y'all are not going to be able to crawl into bed every single night together. So what's the point? Because as soon as y'all get into bed, Nick wants to throw down on someone, and the others are going to have to leave. So what is the point? It just makes sense to have a home with multiple rooms so that, each wife has her own room, maybe her own bathroom as well, instead of y'all pile in and then y'all got to exit stage left because, Nick needs to be satisfied or whatever the hell. Like, I didn't understand what was the point of all of that. And I feel like Nick is married. Nick is actually, he has a girlfriend, and that girlfriend, her name is Jennifer, the one that's having his baby. That's his main squeeze. That's his girlfriend. And I think the others are just bonus, like his bonus wives, his bonus girlfriends, whatever you want to call it. But Jennifer is his main because I feel like there's like a deeper connection between him and Jennifer than him and April. And of course, Danielle is too soon to tell. But it seems like, I don't know, him and Jennifer have this connection, have this understanding between each other, that I really don't see between Nick and April. But that could just be me. But yeah, that is my review of Seeking Sister Wife. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, don't forget to rate the video. And if you like this content, subscribe. And I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.